again. Hi and welcome to the Game on TV. I'm Tim.
I'm Jason, and on today's show, Tim goes in-depth with the PS Vita with a look at Lumines, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Uncharted Golden Abyss. We go hands-on with SSX Demo. We look at Midway Arcade for iOS. We tap our way through Beat Sneak Bandit. We go highbrow with The Artist. And very, very lowbrow with Kevin Smith's Comic Book Men.
Ooh, that's a big show.
It's huge.
It's a massive
enormous show.
Have you ever seen a show like it?
No, not in my life.
No. It has been a big week this week, and obviously the big news has been this little sucker here, the PS Vita, which has been brought out by the PlayStation. I was really, really excited about this machine, and I was looking forward to getting my hands on it.
Yeah, you've been quite. You've been salivating for a long time since it was announced. Really.
Well, yeah,
you pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered
Like day of pre-order open.
Actually, prior, like they weren't even taking pre-orders when I put pre-orders.
Yeah.
And the thing about this is, so I've been really excited about it. But as if you've been watching this podcast or vodcast, if you hate to call it that, don't even want to talk about that. If you're watching this, then you'll know that both my Xbox and my PlayStation were destroyed through act of God. Act of God. And funny enough, I only put my PlayStation to get fixed like last week.
Yeah.
Got it back this morning.
Yeah, although
Sony care.
Yeah, regular fans of the podcast will know that's because you've been up Sony on a weekly basis for years, really.
Sony care is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't Microsoft. I love you, but still no Xbox.
It's your first Xbox issue is the problem.
Yeah.
If you'd been up Microsoft, you'd had it day of.
That's, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the funny thing was when the place, and I'm going to even give these guys the kudos of telling them where I bought it from. But the place where I bought it from, the whole thing was that if you buy from an Xbox from our store, we won't even, if it breaks, we won't ask you any questions. We will just swap it over for you right there. We'll just hand you a brand new spanking Xbox. And so I went in, and the lady, the manager said, "Oh, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't do that in the first year. If it's from years 2 through to 3, they will do that. So if my Xbox was older, they would swap it for free. But this way I have to lose my Xbox for 3 weeks. But
if you've got a 2-year-old Xbox, essentially, the moral of this is smash it
and get a
free one. Get something new. I've got an old one.
Well, I'll talk about new. My phone died again. I am going to get to this little sucker. But my phone died again as well.
Tim and electronics don't go well together.
No, I love them so much.
We'll lose one of the lights any minute now. Anyway.
There it goes. So my phone died, but even Samsung said they're going to send me a brand new Galaxy 2.
Really?
Well,
better than the Galaxy 1 from what I've heard.
Yes, I think so. But anyway, this though has not died on me yet. So I'm kind of excited. I haven't had the chance to play the Vita with my PlayStation 3 as I only got it this morning.
Okay.
But I have had a chance to be playing the PS Vita since launch day, which was last week. And I'm really liking it.
Yep.
I'm really liking it. There's some little issues that I have with it, and I'll talk you through those. But as far as the system goes, I'm very impressed with it. It is very similar to that of the PlayStation Portable, except it is a little bit lighter, and it's a little bit longer. It feels a little bit longer as far as the screen goes. It has 2 joysticks this time, and a couple little features: touch screen at the front, touch screen at the back. Overall, though, I think the operating system that it has very intuitive. If you've ever used an iPad or an iTouch or anything that involves a touch screen, then you'll work your way around it pretty quickly.
If you know how to touch things, you'll be all right.
If you're a touchy-feely person.
The Vita is for you if you like touching.
That's right. If you like touching from the front or behind.
Yeah, that's a pull quote. You can stick that on the box.
I believe it was on the box.
For lovers of touching.
Front and behind.
Front and behind.
Front and behind.
The PS Vita.
Yeah. What I don't like about it, very quickly, you turn it on, and it basically is like the Nintendo Wii talking to you. It has real cutesy little bubble graphics and this music that I've turned off. I've put it back on so where you can hear it when you see the vision. But it's look, the look and feel of it. I don't know why they went there. It didn't have to be cutesy. Like I just dropped a lot of money on this thing. I want it to be slick.
Yeah.
And smick like me.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I mean, you were showing me that before. I haven't really got into the Vita at all because I don't have one. But what you were showing me before, it's kind of weird because the Vita, it seems to be really geared towards your more hardcore gamers.
100%.
Who, sort of going the Wii route is kind of flying right in the face of that, which is really going aggressively after your casual gamer.
Yep.
And I don't think your casual gamer's really going to be dropping $300 on a Vita and then $70 per game.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, the thing is that they are expensive, the games. They're, when we're talking about the iOS for the iPads and all that sort of stuff, you're looking at games that are quite good quality games for anywhere between 99 cents and $10. And you can get games, for example, FIFA, I think it was for $1.99. It was on sale. One time for FIFA on iPad. I can get the same game on the Vita for $69.95. There's a massive difference there. So if you're going to be playing that, then it's more about playing it. The people who are going to be playing on this are going to be the hardcore gamers. Yeah, they're the ones that are going to be doing it. Yeah. But the thing that I really love about this system is the way it interacts with the online ability. So if you're a massive gamer and you're a massive online gamer, then this is actually really for you. And this is, I think, the thing that's excited me more about anything, that the experience that I have with playing the Vita is exactly the same experience as if I was playing on the PlayStation 3 through the PSN network. So when I'm playing online games, the vibe and the feel and the speed, and you said laggy, it wasn't laggy, it was great. And that experience that I had, that love that I had for online gaming was right here in the palm of my hands. Yeah. And it was kind of cool because I could play it. I didn't have to be playing it on the screen, I can surrender the television and still get my online gaming. And so I'm all wraps for this. I've been playing a lot of games on it. I managed to get, I think, 90% of the games that were released on launch. I think I have 12 or so games at the moment. Obviously, we can talk through those real quick.
Yeah, we'll jump in there. Before we do, did you shell out for the 3G or have you just got the Wi-Fi version?
I went for the Wi-Fi because you can actually tether it with your phones. So
if your phone hasn't exploded.
If your phone actually works, then it's perfect. I have tried it. My phone, I did get my phone back and it worked for a day. Nice. And I did make a mistake of doing something to my phone. And that's why it went back to the shop. I turned it off. Right. And then trying to turn it back on. Of course, stupid me.
It's time for a broken phone.
That's right. Yeah. That's all indications. But look, I'll tell you what, it does work with the tethering and it works really well. Yeah. I do prefer it in a Wi-Fi network rather than the 3G. But, it is what it is.
Let's jump into the games. The first one, of course, that I want to jump into.
Oh, yeah.
If I can.
Oh, please do.
Luminous.
Oh, your fave.
Now, I mean, I as I said a couple of weeks back, I'm a big fan of it. I enjoy it on the Xbox. Yeah. But it's not a particularly expensive game on the Xbox. Now, you're shelling out $70 for Luminous. Now, from what I understand, they've made a few tweaks to this version. How are you enjoying it?
Look, I'm actually really enjoying it. I think it's a lot of fun. Would I pay the amount of money for it? Possibly not. Graphically, it is luminous. It is just things just dropping down. It's like Tetris. And like you said, you can get
playing Tetris at Ibiza.
That's exactly what it is. In fact,
that's luminous.
If you ever go to Ibiza, I highly recommend playing a bit of Tetris or Luminous, depending on how you feel. I mean, the thing I do love about it is the music is great, and I think that's where it really sort of gets me. It's music that you don't really hear in today's clubs. It's sort of like the late 90s, the early 2000s sort of house music that sort of came out around that time. And I'm kind of vibing on that because it was a little bit more chilled out, and I mean, again, lots of flashy lights. Look, it's a game. It's certainly not the game. I would be flag polling or for the Vita.
Pull quote for your box there, Luminous. It's a game.
not the game.
Sold.
Yes.
$79.95.
Well, look, I don't even think it's that much. I think it's like $57, but it's still up there. I mean, it's a lot more than the $10 that most people will be looking at. As, dropping on that for the Xbox, for example. But I mean, the game for me, straight up, and it was one that wasn't sent to me. But I paid for it. I was like, drop some cash on it straight away, was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, I have this game on both PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and now I have it on Vita. So, I mean, obsessed? Yes. Slightly? No. Quite a lot. It's one of the games. I mean, if Modern Warfare 3 was on this thing, forget about it. But it's one of the things that I really liked about this, and I was sort of toying between playing with the Xbox versus the PlayStation, and which one was better for me. And I'm telling you right now, I'm well and truly looking way back down Sony's line now. It's swung me across, and I'll tell you the reason why. If you buy any downloaded content on your PS3, it automatically appears on the exact same game for your Vita.
Really?
So if you've unlocked certain characters, for example, in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, there's 2 characters that you can pay for. I think they're like $8, $9 a pop. I bought those on my PlayStation 3. Also bought them on my Xbox. But I bought them on my PlayStation 3. They automatically appeared on my Vita straight across. If you've bought any sort of add-ons that is transferable onto your Vita, it's there. It's 100% there. And so that, to me, gives me reason to go, well, I think I'm going to buy all my add-ons for the PlayStation rather than the Xbox, because I can then take those add-ons down the street if I'm crazy enough to drop another $50 on the same game 3 times. That's what I do. So look, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, massive game. It's exactly the same as the PlayStation or Xbox version. It looks great, it sounds great, and again, the thing that really gets me is the online battles are perfect. It's just like playing it as if you're playing it on the PlayStation Network, because that's what you're doing. You're playing it on the PlayStation Network. So big raps to that game. The other big game, I think Sony were calling it their launch game, was Uncharted Golden Abyss. And again, fantastic. I mean, looking at this game, it looks pretty. It is playing Uncharted in your hands. You can walk down the street and play it. But the things that are a little bit different, I mean, it wasn't made by Naughty Dog.
Right.
So people were saying, well, it's missing that little bit of charm. I don't think so. I think the charm's still there. All the fun is still there. The things that I like about it, there's a lot of puzzles to be solved in this version of the game. And a lot of those puzzles have to do with the touchscreen and the back touchscreen where you can do things from behind. So it's kind of fun. I mean, a little gimmicky, yes, but it is certainly a very playable and very fun adventure.
Now, that actually brings me to the point that I did want to talk about, because the big criticism that I'm hearing, and it's I mean, admittedly, it's a nitpicking criticism, I think, but a lot of the criticism that's being levelled at the Vita is particularly at Uncharted, with the inclusion of these kind of gimmicky things that you sort of found in Uncharted 1 that were gone in the subsequent titles, which was sort of like trying to incorporate all of the neat little things that you can do, like, it's got a back touchscreen, so we've got to incorporate puzzles there. They brought back the you've got to walk across this beam and balance, with the 6-axis, which they had in the first game, and kind of got rid of in the subsequent games. How are you finding? Are you finding that sometimes you go, yeah, it feels like you've just sandwiched that in to incorporate it, or is it feeling kind of natural, like it's a flow-on?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of charcoal rubbings.
Just in life.
Just
really.
But you kind of think about it. You go charcoal rubbing, so you sort of just do this until the whole screen gets fully rubbed, and you go. So I mean, yeah, it is gimmicky. It does sort of slow down the gameplay. I don't mind the tilt axis thing. I do find that when you're running over a log, every time you run over a log, you have to go through it, and you kind of expect to have to do that. It's like, I've got a log, get ready to start tilting. There is a little bit of usual suspects with it. But look, in saying that, I think it's still a beautiful looking game, and it's a lot of fun. And it's a brand new story. It's a unique story. It's not just doing Uncharted 3 or what have you. It's its own unique story. And look, I'm really enjoying it as a game. And I certainly think it looks and plays beautifully. And, the guys down there, at Sony should be very proud of it. I understand why it's their flagship game. Not necessarily Lumines. But Lumines is good. It is. We can't say. But I mean, there's been a couple of games. I got a list of them here because I've got so many of them. One of the games which I really got excited about was Rayman Origins.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my games of the year last year for both Xbox and PlayStation 3. And this is an exact identical port. This is not a portable version of said game. This is the same game. So if you like Rayman, you can have it walking around on your Vita if that's how you choose to play your game.
And it's actually Rayman, I think, is a pretty good fit for the Vita.
Yeah.
Because it is that sort of portable. One of the great things that I found about Rayman Origins was, in today's market, a lot of the games that you play, you're sitting down, you're looking at a 3 to 4 hour gaming period, whereas Rayman, you could do 10 minutes. You could do whatever. Which is why I think it's such a great fit for the Vita, because a lot of the portable gaming is that jump in, you're waiting for someone while somebody's here, you're having lunch with someone, while you're waiting, you jump in, you have a quick game of Rayman.
I don't wait. It's when I'm having lunch with people, I just play Rayman. It's pretty rude, I know. My apologies to all those people I have lunch with, and I'm just sitting here going, yeah, good to see you too. Look, that's very true. It is very true, and those sort of games. But I mean, you look at games, you could also do things like Wipeout looks amazing, Wipeout 2048. The big criticism of that was that they said it didn't sort of capture the speed. I don't know who said that, because I'm sitting here going, the game feels fast. It looks good. It's Wipeout. It's, again, Wipeout in your hands. Ridge Racer, I picked up a copy of Ridge Racer. A little disappointed with Ridge Racer because although it is Ridge Racer, it seems to feel like a very early PlayStation 3 game. And it also doesn't come with very many levels. You've got 2 or 3 levels to start with. I've already bought a couple more levels. I've bought new cars. So you buy the game, then you drop another $10 on a level, then you drop another $10 in a car, then you drop, and the games seem to add up a lot.
Yeah, that seems unnecessary.
Yeah, well, for Ridge Racer, yeah. But I did it because I wanted to do it for you guys at home. I needed to look at that game all the way through. And now that I've done it, I'm broke.
He's committed.
I'm committed.
I don't care.
That's true. So that's pretty good. I mean, there's another driving game which is getting sort of 3 or 4 stars out of 5. So it's sort of getting a mid-range, and that's Asphalt. I can't recall now. That's really terrible.
Asphalt
Injection.
Whoa!
Asphalt Injection.
Which sounds painful.
It does, actually. Which, funny enough, I'm really enjoying.
Oh, really?
And I tell you the reason why. Because it's a racing game, but it doesn't take itself seriously. You can find shortcuts. You can get turbo boosts that shoot you in front of it. It reminds me a lot of San Francisco Rush. Okay. That type of vibe of game. And it's incredibly fun to play. And even though I've forgotten the name, it's just that I have so many titles going through my head at the moment. Asphalt Injection is actually one that I think is a lot of fun to play and is certainly... certainly worth having a look at.
They toyed with the title Hot Beef, but...
Didn't go with you?
No.
That's fair enough. One of the funny games is another thing which I thought was interesting. It's very much stolen from Nintendo's DS system or 3DS system. Is the augmented reality type games where you have cards and you use the camera that's on the back of the system. And you play the games with the cards. Basically, you put a card down on a table, and they're specific for...
Oh, yes, yeah, right.
And then it turns that into the gameplay.
Yeah.
So you can then move this becomes the camera, and you can have a look at how you want to play it, depending on which angle that you put your Vita on. There's a great game called Reality Fighters, which, again, completely gimmicky. But I really love this game, and it's not because it's a good street fighting game, because it's not. I mean, the buttons are very simple and it's very flashy and whatever. The thing I love about it is it maps your face to the character. So you start off and you create a character, and it maps your face, and then you become that character. But you have a sensei, and your sensei is Pat Morita. And he plays Miyagi. He plays Miyagi, and so Miyagi is there, and he gives you beef. Oh, he doesn't. He's not a big fan. He's like, oh, you can't be my fighter.
Yeah.
LaRusso's son was much better. And
laying the smack.
He's laying the smack down right from the get-go. But the thing that I love about this game is it knows it's being stupid.
Right.
And that's the thing. So you can use this augmented reality cards to have a fight with these little mini versions of you in your area, or you can take some of the levels that they've got and you can just be in their positions. They have like pretty beaches and things, what have you. But the fighting styles, and this is how you know it's being silly, the fighting styles are things like ballet. zombie, cowboy. I think there's even a disco man in there. It reminds me of Clay Fighters back on the old Super Nintendo, where it was digitized. You know, they put you into the game. You got Miyagi saying, you know, go fight Disco Dave or whatever his name is. But the thing is, it's a lot of fun, and it's certainly one that you'd play for giggles.
Yeah.
He knew what I was talking about. Giggles.
Disco Dave's theme is great. I'm Disco Dave. I will dance for your honor. I've got to stop singing in podcasts. Is pretty much that's
you sing at a level
to self.
Yeah, you sing at a level that's so high. I don't know. Anyway,
that's because I'm always picking the high songs.
Yeah, picking something. There's a game called Little Deviants, and
that ain't no game, sir.
And it is fun. Now, if you want to talk about gimmicky games, this is the one. This has everything. This utilizes everything from voice recognition through to sound, through to picture, to photo, to the back touch screen where you can roll your little deviant like a marble. It's crazy. It's something that needs to be seen to be explained. So why don't we have a quick look at that right now? Now, do you get it?
No, I just want to have a shower.
And you should. I don't know. He doesn't smell. It's the high-pitched voice and the singing. It's just
rubbing a
I know.
little deviant on the back. It's not on. Not on.
Not on. I do apologise. Look, so there's plenty of games on launch. So there's a whole stack of others which I could go through. I think we've done enough of talking about the Vita. The thing is that for a machine that's been released, for game titles released at launch, there's certainly plenty of them. They are very expensive. I want to show you this very quickly. This is what the game looks like. I'm going to pull out a whole stack of them. Here it is. That is your game. So it's very small. It's easy to lose. Yeah, exactly. You can lose them. And it does not come with these little cases. I had to go out and buy that. So I want to do a very quick price breakdown of what it is. For the unit itself, which comes with nothing more than the unit and the power cord, you're looking at, for the Wi-Fi version, $348 retail, which is the exact same price or $1 less than PlayStation 3.
Right. I thought I saw it advertised somewhere for about $298. Is that with a trade-in?
That is when you trade in. It is $348.
Okay.
And if you want the 3G version, it's going to be more expensive than that. It's about $100 more expensive.
Yep.
Plus, then you have to be on a month-by-month, service fee for your 3G. So you have to get that through a provider. The second thing is that it comes with no memory. So you need to buy your memory on top of that. So I picked up the 16 gig because that's the highest that you can get. Now, the thing is, apparently Sony is run short with 16 gigs and they're very hard to find. My store had 2 of them. I bought my one at 9 a.m. on the launch day. They only had 1 left by the time I left. I almost bought the second one just for the hell of it, just to have the second one because they're hard to find. So you're looking at right there's another $65. So you already cracked over $400 for the cheapest version. Then, because the discs are so small, you're going to need to buy something like this, which is the case. They retail for about $25. Comes with a place where you can hold your little disc there, and also comes with just things like a screen protector and things like that. So when you're looking at it, you're looking just before you even buy a game, you're looking at a price at around $430. And this is where it says, you need to be a hardcore gamer if you want to get one of these things. Is this better than buying a PlayStation 3? No. Is this the perfect supplement to a PlayStation 3? Absolutely. If you're a hardcore gamer that enjoys online gaming, then you certainly need one of these. I love my Vita. I think it's fantastic, and I keep saying it. It has been fantastic for someone like myself.
Yeah.
For the occasional gamer, the casual gamer.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Right. So there we go.
Yeah.
I think it does the job. It looks fun. I'm not really sold on it because I sort of like to leave my gaming behind when I leave the house. But
this guy,
you never know. Anyway, listen, I'm a sucker for advertising.
Oh, are you?
I am, which is why when I want a great snack that I can enjoy between meals without ruining my appetite, I always go with the PS Vita. But SSX.
Oh.
I bought the first SSX back on my PS2.
Yes.
Way back. Quite enjoyed it. Didn't play too much of it. And, you know, I basically forgot about it. Didn't buy any of the subsequent games, but I was super excited about the new SSX.
Now, why is that?
I don't know. Probably the advertising. But I was watching it and I was going, oh, I could go a snowboarding game again. Cast my mind back to the old snowboarding games of old.
1080 degrees.
Oh, it's great. Anyway, so one of the big... Well, it's not really a release because it's not out yet, but we did get the demo for SSX on the Xbox Live Marketplace, which I had a go at. Really great. It's kind of weird. They've tweaked the controls. I don't remember what the controls used to be like. It's been that long since I played it. So I can't tell you how the controls compare. But the control scheme options that you have is... you know, basically you're using the left analog stick for movement. But in terms of tricks, you can use either the buttons or you can just use the right analog stick. Or you can use a combination of both, which is kind of fun. The demo itself is kind of... It's not huge. You know, you'll probably play through it in about half an hour. But, oh, it's got me excited.
You're excited?
It looks great. It plays really well. One of the things that I really like is I'm not a huge online gamer, but one of the things that I enjoyed with Blur, for example, was the thing that you could you get that online gaming experience with your friends even when they're not online. You know, you're racing against their times and stuff like that.
Right.
Same thing here with SSX is you'll get a ghost image of your friends. Like basically when they do a run, a ghost image will be uploaded to the server, and then when you play the game,
you get to race them.
You'll be racing against their ghost image and stuff like that, which is great. Soundtrack's awesome.
Yep.
Look, all it's done is serve to make me more excited about it. I highly recommend jumping. If you've got an Xbox, jump on. Probably on the PlayStation Network as well.
PlayStation,
yeah, so jump on, download the demo, have a go at it because it's great. And I could not be more excited for a game coming out.
It is one of the bigger titles for this quarter that's coming out. So yeah, no, I've been hearing a lot of people getting excited about it, and a lot of people have been hitting those demos.
I'll tell you what, because one of the great things, it's like Tony Hawk. You know, the early Tony Hawk games in that, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, which I didn't to begin with, I've played it for about 3 hours, even though it's only a half-hour demo. You feel you're still pulling off great moves. It feels like you're really achieving stuff, even when you don't know what you're doing. So just jumping in and banging away, it's still a really great experience. Yeah,
nice.
Very, very exciting.
Excellent. Well, I found it very hard to pull myself away from that.
Yeah.
And seeing both my systems had been act of God, struck by lightning. The only other thing that I really had a look at, and I know that you've had a look at, is the Midway Arcade, which I was really excited about because, I'm a big old school gamer as well. But ultimately what I was excited about was being able to put in my arcade unit.
Yeah.
And play it with the old joystick and buttons. Doesn't work.
Yeah, you've said this, which is quite distressing because playing it myself, I went, this is terrible, but it would be great. It's not that it's terrible, but you know, you're playing games that are largely banging a button and moving the joystick, which when you're doing it on a glass screen, it doesn't work. It just doesn't feel right. I mean, look, the game itself, it's 99 cents. Its release price for iOS. Absolutely worth it. You know, you get basically it's an entire arcade, and it comes with stuff like Joust and Rampage.
Defenders there.
Yeah, Defenders there.
Did you buy the add-ons?
I didn't buy the add-ons, and I'll tell you what. Arch Rivals.
Yeah.
Arch Rivals.
Yeah.
I used to love Arch Rivals. I didn't buy the add-ons because I played through a few of the games and went, you know, Rampage. I used to love Rampage. Played it and went, it's all right. You know, 99 cents. It's absolutely worth 99 cents. I didn't want to then go and buy the 2 add-ons to go, it's all right, and be $3 out of pocket. I mean, $3, it's a cup of coffee, but...
Where do you get your coffee? I want to buy a $3 coffee. My coffee's $5.
Chino thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Twist of lemon. It's nice. I did buy the add-ons.
Yes.
Because I really like Gauntlet, and I was like, I have to. And Gauntlet
and you love Narc.
I do love Narc.
Yeah, Narc was a great game.
Narc was fantastic.
Narc almost had my money.
Well, Narc got my money. I was like, yeah, I could do that. APB, and things like that. Yeah, there's some great stuff.
Yeah.
But have you played through it? Have you played through like the skee ball, and have you played?
Pretty much skee ball is what I played the most. I honestly spent about an hour playing skee ball.
Did you play ice hockey?
Yes.
Well, the air hockey.
Air hockey. Yeah.
And the pool.
Yeah, pool was
terrible.
Yeah.
It's very glitchy, and I played pool, and the white ball just disappeared, and I didn't know what the hell.
Oh yeah, I had that. Yeah, and the black ball was floating in midair.
Yeah.
At which point I had to quit. Yeah, so it's a little glitchy. Look, it's fun. It's absolutely a gimmicky fun thing.
Totally. And
would you say drop the extra couple of dollars for Gauntlet?
How was
Gauntlet?
Absolutely. It was great. It was great, but the controls were a problem, and this is the thing. And so for me, it was like the games are great. I'd probably actually play it a bit more if I could use my arcade.
Yeah.
This, by the way, is my arcade. In case you.
It's also him driving the car.
This is me driving.
Yeah.
That said, look, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was good, but I just find the controls.
I reckon that we will see a patch for it pretty soon that will allow arcade use. Another game that I did have a look at that came out for iOS maybe a week and a half ago is a game called Beat Sneak Bandit. Now, people don't really... Well, people probably do know this. Tim, in his other life, has been a DJ. He was a DJ for a long time, or as I like to call it, a beat counter. Now, I think Beat Sneak Bandit will be right up your alley. I quite enjoy it. Basically what it is, it's just this very fun game where you are a bandit and a villain called Duke Clockface has stolen all the clocks in town, presumably to build a time machine or some such thing.
Damn him.
So you're Beat Sneak Bandits breaking in to try and steal back the clocks. But the way he sneaks and is not found out is he moves in time with the beat. And Duke Clockface is a fun-loving guy who has built his entire house around beat. The game is entirely done tapping like this. It seems on the surface to be not worth it at all. It seems like such a rudimentary, basic game that why would you even bother playing it? But the music is so much fun. Just the light-hearted sense of humour about the game was really enjoyable. I think it's a $2.99 download, and I highly recommend it. It has been just a lot of fun. It's a very unique gameplay experience, and look, you know, there are different levels as you progress through the chapters. You collect enough clocks to unlock shadow levels, which are essentially just different levels but done in shadow. So you have to, you've got guards patrolling and you just have to watch their silhouettes to know when they're facing you or not. It's a strangely addictive and enjoyable game. So Beat Sneak Bandit, I'd have a go at it.
I'll have a look.
I'd love to, because you'll be a master at it. You know your beats.
I count beats better than anyone.
Yeah, you're a champion at it. That's almost all I had for gaming. Did you have anything else for gaming?
No. I apart from the Mass Effect 3 that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so Mass Effect. Mass Effect 3. Excuse me. Put my teeth back in. They made an announcement this week that their release day DLC is what they're going to have. This is not the first game to do this. Basically what they're saying is on the day of release there will also have some DLC available, which is going to be, if you got to believe one of the video rants on YouTube, $10 American this thing's going to be. Now the problem is it is causing quite an upset because I think people are kind of getting to the point where they're going, look, if you're releasing DLC on the day that you're releasing the game, just put it in the game. Or make it free. If the game is not complete upon its release, then don't charge for the extra part of it.
The problem with that is that a lot of the EA games, they come in two different versions. They come in the standard version of the game and the special edition version of the game, which comes with the DLC.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, but that costs an extra 10, 15, 20 bucks.
Yeah, so 20 in this case.
Right.
Yeah, special edition is 20.
So you pay a little bit extra and then you get all the DLC content. So it's kind of like that thing that, well, you can get it in the game.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost you just as much as if you download it. So it's actually giving people an option to, I think, to get it cheaper if they don't want the DLC. So it depends which way you want to look at it. Because they're saying, well, you can have it for $79 and it comes with this, or you can have it for $100 and it's got like all the extra levels and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it anyway. But I mean, look, I agree with you, but it just, to me, it's kind of like the extra 2 levels at the Midway thing. I always want to make sure I have everything in the game and have all options. And
I mean, look, I think ultimately this is just going to prove to be a storm in a teacup because, I mean, Mass Effect 2 was a great game and Mass Effect 3 is going to have its lovers.
I'm going to have issues. People are going to have issues with this. I found Mass Effect 2 okay.
Yep.
And but everybody's who raves about it. I'm like, it's all right. I mean, it's really long and...
Yeah.
You know, it was doing its thing, but I didn't get as enthused with it.
No, but I mean, as we've discovered repeatedly on this podcast, this very podcast, you know, different strokes for different folks.
That is very true.
You know, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man with means. Then I can't stop.
We need to stop. Let's go on the Academy Awards.
Academy Awards.
Oh, mate. Now, did you watch it?
No.
Honestly, no, neither did I.
No.
I had no interest whatsoever. And
I must admit, I really have lost interest in the Academy Awards, which is not... I don't know if it's... It wasn't a sort of, oh, if you Academy Awards, you're doing all this stupid stuff. About the time that they had 10 pictures for Best Picture, 10 nominees for Best Picture, I went, you really just... Like, you've done your credibility. You've done your dash with your credibility.
They did their dash with the credibility when Bridesmaids was nominated for Best Screenplay.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway. So my issue was that I saw the opening, the Billy Crystal opening. And have you ever seen Life Stinks by Mel Brooks?
Yes.
And he does that That was what Billy Crystal was for me. It was just this old dude kind of doing a bit of the shuffle dance, hoping to entertain someone, anyone.
Yeah.
And you know, having Justin Bieber in there saying, well, he brings in the 18 to 24 demographic. I didn't realize Bieber was on drugs. I'm sure he brings in the 12 to 13-year-old girl demographic. I'm not sure about the 18 to 24-year-old demographic. But look, I don't know what's going on. I found the whole thing. I switched off once Billy Crystal started singing.
Yep.
I didn't care.
Yeah, right. As I say, I didn't watch it. I did get the few results. The biggest one, of course, being that the artist had won Best Picture, which I'm very happy about. I saw the artist a couple of weeks ago, which I really enjoyed, and I'll say this, I enjoyed it because it did well what Hugo set out to do, but did very poorly. Which is that love letter to the early days of Hollywood. The artist does it incredibly. There's some really great moments with the artist as well, where they utilise this, you know, the silent film conceit. Works really well because, you know, you get to see a line in print, but your brain delivers the line, and somehow you come away with a lot of the lines being a lot more powerful than if you'd actually heard them. It's kind of, I don't imagine that this is going to lead to a silent film revolution, and if it does, Lord help us all. But it was a really unique and great experience, and I mean, I highly recommend it if you haven't had a chance to see it. I mean, you don't need to tell you it's good. It just won the Oscar, but you know, Bridesmaids was nominated, so figure that out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's probably it for us this week. I don't know if you've got anything else to talk about.
Not really. I was going to talk. I did want to talk very briefly about Kevin Smith's new TV show, Comic Book Man.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have.
Yeah, 1 episode is all that's aired so far, I believe.
I think they're up to 3, aren't they?
I heard a rumour they're up to 3. I haven't been able to find any episode other than episode 1.
Yeah, no, they're up to 3.
How did you go with it?
Have you ever seen Pawn Brokers? Is it Pawn Star? Pawn? Who knows? Anyway, it's a shop about pawn shops that you sell and trade things in. And I thought it was, look, I've been to that Red Bank store where it was at. It's nothing like that. You know, Brian Johnson doesn't just hang out in the shop just reading comics. And did I enjoy it? Yeah, it was all right. Was it contrived? 100%. Was it real? No, it was just really bad reality television. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, I have to say, as a comic fan and something of a geek, I found it offensive. I actually really did not like the show at all. I thought they presented the worst of geeks. Really, it was everything that is stereotypical geek. They just reinforced that stereotype, and it was a huge step backwards, I think.
But it was strange because they had the whole show was based around them and their store, and yet people were coming in trying to sell them stuff. Yeah, like Chucky dolls and things like that. And I was just kind of like going, okay, well, I've been to their store. I've never seen anybody just walk in off the street with like a briefcase chained to their arms, going, I got something that is really really expensive, and then they bring in their specialist and they go, oh, it's not worth a cent. And they try to create drama. And look... and
at the end of the day, they're just a bunch of jerks. So, no, it's a big fail for comic book men for me. I guess that is going to do it for this episode of the Game on TV podcast. If you would like to send us an email, you can send it to gameontv.oz@gmail.com. That's gameontv.oz. If you'd like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, you can find us at Game on TV Oz. On YouTube, Game on TV Oz. If you want to send Tim a Twitter, he's Terminator Timo on Twitter. I've forgotten what my Twitter name is. Anyway, until next time, this has been the Game on TV podcast. I'm Jason.
And I am totally addicted to this little sucker.
We'll see you online.
Father.